you please give us your name?
Jeffrey Epstein.
Now this is what the music industry is all about.
Sergio's not crazy.
I love this game!
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the year 2026. With the start of the new year, it's brought upon us what possibly could be the biggest debate in the universe. Two men, compared to each other so much, has got everyone thinking one question. Today, I, Pokeshek, will be settling this debate once and for all. Who is the strongest pedophile? On one side is Jeffrey Epstein, a man with many connections, his own private island, and stories of sex trafficking and mystery. And on the other is Sean Combs, aka P. Diddy, the founder of the Freakos, and the monstrous music mogul. We can't keep going back and forth for so long, or else a worldwide civil war may ensue. So I'm here to answer the question once and for all. I will be analyzing each pedophile into 5 categories: strength, speed, durability, intelligence, and abilities. Whoever is better in a specific category gets a point, and the man with the most points wins and is deemed as the strongest pedophile. This battle will be legendary. It will be talked about for years to come, and the victor will be remembered for the rest of the universe's lifespan. Let's first begin with the first category, strength. Looking at the two, Epstein is recorded at 6 foot while Diddy is 5'10". However, we have seen video evidence of Diddy's physical capabilities, and we can see that this guy is no pushover. He is very violent and will not show anyone any form of mercy. However, we need to look at another form of power: influence and connections. You see, both of these men had very powerful connections, which in turn made them very powerful people. But while Diddy had many musicians and celebrities in his grasp, the influence and power Epstein exhibited is unmatched. As stated in my other Epstein video, he had connections to people all around the world, and some of them were very powerful figures in these countries, such as Putin. While we have never seen Epstein fight personally, it is clear to me that he has tons of power over everyone. So even though it's close, I'm going to give strength to Epstein. Now in terms of speed, this one isn't even a competition. Even though Epstein's feats of trafficking children onto his island undetected is impressive, Diddy has 2 advantages over his opponent. 1, he is black.
You cannot outrun me! I am black!
But 2, and more importantly, is his control over oil. This oil is a huge advantage for Diddy, as he's able to reach blinding speeds. You can practically compare his manipulation of oil to a master waterbender in Avatar. He could essentially cover his feet with oil and skate around like Shadow the Hedgehog. Now, Epstein is no slowpoke. Like I mentioned before, he was able to transport tons of children and people onto his island undetected for many years. However, you could say that he had help from his powerful allies, which in turn would make this feat more of a strength feat rather than a speed feat. However, even if it were speed, Diddy still blitzes him anyway. Remember, Diddy is black, so he is naturally going to outspeed him regardless. In terms of speed, Diddy easily gets this point. Now looking at durability, this one involves a little more research. Epstein was able to maintain his sex activities on his private island for decades, and while that is impressive, there's 2 fatal flaws when it comes to his durability. The first has to do with the fact that Epstein killed himself only 1 month after being arrested, and to me, this shows he had a fragile persona and character. He took the coward's way out, instead of dealing with all the punishments he was going to endure. And the second and more recent one has to do with the files that were released. Now, on first glance, most, if not all of these files are completely redacted, and you would think this would be a great feat for Epstein. However, the redactions have a massive problem. It's not technically redacted. You could easily copy and paste the black text, paste it into Microsoft Word, and read everything. It's a false redaction. While it was initially durable, it crumbled very quickly. These 2 durability feats immediately bring down Epstein's chances. But for Diddy, it's the complete opposite. When he was caught and arrested, he didn't kill himself, immediately shifting the odds towards him. But his biggest saving grace is the oil once again. You see, his oil manipulation reminded me of Alvida in One Piece. Her smooth food makes her body super slippery, causing attacks to simply slide off of her. This is very similar to Diddy's oil, as he could cover his whole body and any attack Epstein would throw at him could just slide off. And because of this, I'm giving durability to Diddy. Now for intelligence, this one's an easier one. Even though Diddy is considered an OG for the king of the freaks, he isn't an OG as Epstein. Like I said before, Epstein was able to run his island for decades, and while Diddy hosted massive house parties, Epstein hosted island parties and was able to get away with it for many years. Diddy was also seen making some questionable decisions, especially regarding his actions when it came to the deaths of Tupac and Biggie, but because of this, without a doubt, Epstein has more intelligence over Diddy. But now, the score is 2-2, and there's only one more category left. Abilities. Let's start with Epstein. With his many connections, he has the ability to harness their power as well, not to mention the money he has. This could come into play when it comes to flexing. However, with the amount of money Diddy has as a record label owner, that would be a non-factor. Epstein also has a redaction ability, which he could use to disable some of Diddy's attacks. While these redactions would be weak long-term, their short-term versatility would be amazing. And considering how much the files were redacted, this means that Epstein could spam the fuck out of this ability. But Epstein has one final trick up his sleeve, and that is harnessing the power of the island. This ability causes Epstein to absorb all the sins that were committed on the island to enter his final form. During this form, his strength, speed, and durability are all massively increased. His redactions also get stronger. However, this form is on a limit. Due to Epstein's fragile persona, he can only use his form for about a minute. When his form depletes, he needs to recharge before he can attack normally again. As for Diddy, he of course has his oil manipulation, but he can also play some of his music. When this happens, Epstein is stunned temporarily, because he needs to cover his ears to not listen to Diddy's terrible songs. He also has more durability and speed to his advantage, and this could go toe-to-toe with Epstein's island form. But when it comes to oil manipulation, Diddy can use it to form constructs and weapons to attack Epstein. However, due to Diddy's lower intelligence, he might feel compelled to shoot tons of oil at Epstein, which will lead to some openings. However, remember that Diddy's oil negates most, if not all, of Epstein's physical attacks by coating his body with oil. And even though redaction could stop short bursts of oil, if Diddy were to use his oil beam blast, it could cause some serious trouble to Epstein. Diddy could also pretty easily blitz Epstein, as their speed is only on the same level when Epstein is in his final form. But Diddy could also use his abundance of oil to stall Epstein. On top of that, Diddy could also use his secret technique, the Oil Diddy Party, where he summons a giant mansion entirely made out of oil and traps Epstein inside of there. Not only would Epstein have a hard time getting out, but he could also drown in all the oil. While this fight would be extremely close, as these two men are very similar, due to the counters he has, I think the point to abilities goes to Diddy.
I love this game!
So with all that being said, after analyzing the two men side by side, based on their strength, speed, durability, intelligence, and abilities, the winner, and the de facto strongest pedophile in the universe, is Sean Combs, aka P. Diddy. The strongest pedophile of today beats the strongest pedophile of the past. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care now.